All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line.
Here we go. Play 19.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 43. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Watson now to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. Being chased out left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Hopkins should see a lot of targets, but he might be in for a battle tonight. He's set to lock horns with Chris Harris, as Harris is going to be shadowing him all around the field.
And what I love about Harris's game is his ability to play outside, work inside to the slot, and he always carries a chip on his shoulder. Remember, he was an undrafted free agent that's turned himself into a Pro Bowl player.
Yes, the former Kansas Jayhawk, undrafted in 2011. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. The Texans with a first opportunity now from the red zone. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. From the red zone now, Watson. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
I always love the opening game of the season, and for the players, always nice to get those firsts out of the way, isn't it? How about here? The first sack of the season. Not just in the first game, but in the opening drive. That's the way to get things kicked off.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Watson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Back to throw. He's got Curse. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Over.
Off off the play fake. He'll look to throw. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now they'll run it on the toss. And down inside the 35 he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. To throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They'll drop the throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Sherman. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot. Because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy. Maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
But nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive. Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
On second down, here's Watson. He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38. Brand 38.
And an alley to run. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A very solid gain of 27.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos are in for 6. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 10-7. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone.
Any return to get you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. These two teams trading touchdowns here in what has been a back-and-forth first half.
And ordinarily, we're trying to figure out how to break out of a stalemate. Here, you're trying to figure out if you can slow someone down while continuing your breakneck pace on offense. I know one thing. The people in the crowd, they're getting their money's worth right now.
And the fantasy owners like it.
Oh, without a doubt. They're just tallying them up, aren't they?
They're watching this game. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Navarro Bowman coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to work. Through an opening, and there he goes. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. They'll set up a throw. Flushed out. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He'll look to throw. Looking deep downfield. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Cyrus Jones picks it. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that'll be incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. From his goal line here, Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to get this up to the 24-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now they try the right side here. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 10 more there and another first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
On first down, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll set up the throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone. Watch him now, Barney.
They'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. Now a 1st down throw, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. Thomas, the intended target. Here's a carry for the fullback. That's Anthony Sherman. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Credit the tackle to Navarro Bowman.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Andre Howe. And to the 12, that's that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Wide, get wide. Two jets.
To throw on second is Watson. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. And that is incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as he'll look to throw. And now he'll tuck it and run. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Von Miller in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And this hasn't been the typical game, no doubt, for Emmanuel Sanders. They've really limited him.
He's one of those players that provides a real spark when he gets going. And when he does it, it's felt by the rest of the team, and they're feeling it in this one because right now they're trailing.
The Broncos on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 14. Back to throw. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Tiger. Down.
Watson to throw on second down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Green 39. Green 39.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Watson now, looking to throw on second down. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, 52 yards. And the Texans will add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. So the Broncos coming out now. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive down with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And my goodness, another interception. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. Oh, that's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And Denver getting set to take the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Over! Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player, How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get a
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Looking to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve his...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bernardrick McKinney leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. They're going to look to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Andre Howe. And the return will stop right around the 25. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions, a big seam, and he might go all the way. The 30. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. A huge play there for Houston. 71 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And they'll run it here. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because you may leave an opening that could come back and get you.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he'll get this one up to the 26. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
And they'll go on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Houston, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for Denver, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.